สวัสดีค่ะ Good morning and welcome to Morning Thailand อวรรณสอนเครือหงส์
And I'm Thanannapat Noiwin. Good morning and thanks for tuning in to Morning Thailand show for this Thursday, December the 26th, 2013. Almost the end of the last working week for this year already.
Exactly, and of course yesterday hopefully everybody enjoyed the Christmas of course and exchanging gift and such, and if you're lucky enough Santa Claus probably give you a gift that you might request it, but obviously the gift that a lot of Thai people actually wanted according to Bangkok poll, and we will talk about that later on in the later half of the show, is that they obviously requesting peace in the Thai society or especially in the capital at this point. Not sure whether or not that will be granted though.
But in order to achieve the political stability, the acting Prime Minister Kun Yingluck yesterday has already announced on the television broadcast talking about the setting up of the government's supported National Reforms Council.
So we're going to talk about that later on. However, first thing to report though, the incident is more or less like accident at this point. Of course, we have reported about the, I guess, a plant for fireworks that has been exploded before, and this time is quite severe because it's led to 2 people got killed and 4 people injured. This is in Suphan Buri province. What happened was that there has been a report yesterday that early morning there has been a fireworks plantation that exploded. Now this particular factories that actually produce fireworks and such, what happened was that 3 of the buildings is located in 3 buildings altogether, and the police believe that the ingredients that they were kept is probably not properly kept, and that caused the explosion to happen. And they say that this, very unfortunately, it wasn't the first time that there's an incident from this factory. It was quite lucky last time, which is only a month ago, and the authorities has already filed charges against this particular factory, saying that they don't have a license to actually run the factories. So, but nothing has been done yet until yesterday where the incident took place, and that caused 2 deaths. And they say that this particular factory was actually belongs to Sujin Japan, which is a local politician in the area of the Suan Tang sub-district. And they say that this particular case caused at that point the death of Kun Paithun Jam Sukwan as well as Kun Manot Suk Ying. 2 of them, both of them are actually the staff at the factories itself. They say that when the authorities and the rescue team got to the scene, it was just too late for them to help these 2 already because their bodies pretty much dismembered due to the explosion. However, 4 other people were actually sent to the Sun Chao Praya Yomaraj Hospital in Suphan Buri province. They say that the pickup trucks that parked nearby, 2 of them actually got damaged as well, and they say that they found 2 big craters about 100 meters away from where the factory was located, and they say that this is about 50 centimeters deep craters. So the impact was quite large, and they say that it was quite lucky because it's further enough from the residential areas that it did not impact the others. However, at this point they say that in the June of the 9th, the 9th of June, there has been the incident took place already, but at the time, like I said, there's no death reported. There was 2 minor injuries that took place. However, at this point, the owner has already been charged with, and intentionally killing the people as well as illegally operate this particular factory without any license to do so.
That might be the case, right?
Exactly, because the thing is, these type of ingredients, if you don't keep it like proper, if it's not properly kept, obviously, it could create, I don't know, the explosion and such. So be very, very careful.
All right, moving to another headlines here. The development in the case that 16 bodies of gaurs had been found
Oh, yeah, that you
in
reported
Buri
yesterday.
National Park. Yes, of course, in Prachuap Khiri Khan province. It seems that some bodies had already had to show responsibility for the incident that happened. Yesterday, Kun Pongpan Vichian Samut, Gui Buri District Chief Office, in Prachuap Khiri Khan Province, accompanied by Kun Pricha Vitayapan, the head of the Gui Buri National Park, along with the power of Gui Buri Group that comprised of 13 natural reservation organizations in the area to protect the Gui Buri National Park, had already held like some kind of seminar or meeting to talk about this particular issue that they had found 16 bodies of gaurs in the area, and they had concluded that the death was stemmed from the unnatural causes because as they said, that as I reported earlier, that no bullet wounds had been detected on the bodies of the animals. So there might be some kind of the toxic plants in the area, or earlier they have said that there might be the attempt to poison the animals. However, later on they had ruled out this suspicion, saying that if the animals were poisoned, other animals in the area in the Gui Buri National Park would be killed as well.
That's true.
Right. So they had ruled out that particular suspicion there, and someone had brought up the issue that this particular incident might lead to conflict between the national park officers and local residents in the area, because nobody had known for sure what exactly happened inside the national park. So later on, the authorities had contacted the bomb disposal unit to investigate the carcass of the animals, just to find out whether there was a bullet hole or bullets inside the animals' carcasses. So later on, 5 officers from the bomb disposal unit had entered the area to identify whether there were traces of metal in the animals' bodies. The team took several hours to perform a scan and finally ruled out that no bullet had been found in the animals' bodies, so none of them had been shot. And today, a team of veterinarians from the Department of National Park, Wildlife and Conservation, together with the officers in Prachuap Khiri Khan Province, will be heading to the area where they found the animals and collect samples of their DNAs just to further investigate with the laboratory later on. So yesterday, a senior ranking police officer, Police Major General Chalerm Kiet Siwarakhan, the Permanent Secretary of the National Police Bureau, will go into the area as well, just to find out further cause of this particular incident. Kun Nipon Chotiban, the acting Director General of the National Park, Wildlife and Conservation Department, said that they will be setting up a commission to investigate this particular incident especially. And apart from that, he had ordered the transfer of Kun Pricha Vitayapan, the head of Gui Buri National Park, to the inactive post.
Wow.
And appointed his deputy Kun Suriyon Poti Pandit to work as a work in a caretaking position. He said that the transfer was just to prevent conflict between officers and various organizations within the National Park Department.
I see. So, well, at this point, I think that a lot of people start to question the fact that if there are these very many gaurs that were found dead in the area, what happened to the chief? What did he do?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
how could he not detect this particular case? So that would be one of the reasons why, we need to look into this a little bit more.
And apart from that, now the Gui Buri National Park has been closed. Authorities said the closure will remain until further investigations could be reviewed.
All right, so that's one of the problem, obviously, and hopefully it will be resolved very, very soon, because we need to know what happened in order to prevent it from happening again. 16 so far, right?
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to another case, there has been a case. Now, this particular case, a murder case nonetheless, has been reported way back. However, they say that this took place on the 17th of November, so it was quite a while back. However, this particular murder case, they say that there was one person has been found dead due to has been poisoned to death, and another person severely injured in the Suphan Buri province. However, yesterday the police finally was able to arrest the culprit to this particular case, and they say that what happened is that Kun Vitlaiporn Tawichat was found dead, and they say that they found a trace of poison in her system, along with Kun Sakhonrat Kong Iem, who's another person that got injured. Luckily, she survived, but severely injured yet. So yesterday, there has been a report that Kun Prani Champathong, the lady in the picture there, she actually put trace of toxic into what they call those 3-in-1, I guess. Yeah, coffee, the packages, the small packages that you normally, just pretty much tear off the package and then start, putting hot water in and you can drink it right away. Now, Kun Prani said that the reason she did this because she suspects that her husband, Kun Prasit Champathong, is actually having an affair with Kun Sakhonrat Kong Iem, which is the injured. And so she said that she got really upset. She confronted him, and instead of actually admitting it, he got really upset and started to beat her. And that's create a lot of, I guess, rage in her part, and so she would like to take a revenge on him. So what she did is she put a toxic. They did not identify, however, what kind of poison that she put in, but she somehow was able to insert it in without anyone else suspicious. And she was actually, that was meant for her husband. She said that she left it at his resident in Suphan Buri province. And they say that unfortunately she did not realize that he would take that packages of coffee to work. And then the two, one of them very sadly, Kun Vitlaiporn Tawichat, who has nothing to do with this incident whatsoever, she was the one that drank it and severely she caused her a lot of pain and eventually caused her death. And for Kun Sakhonrat, she was just severely injured, but still pretty bad nonetheless. However, at this point, the police was, after a long investigation, they were able to trace back to see that it was the wife that tried to poison her husband, but someone else have to take that unfortunate.
That was very unfortunate incident indeed. It happened at the end of this year. Now moving on to another news updates concerning the weather conditions. As I said yesterday, that the meteorological department said that after December the 25th, which is today onwards, the temperatures will continue to drop as a result of another what is called cold front from China. Now, 33 provinces have been declared disaster areas. Nong Khai was the latest one yesterday, and the mercury that continues to drop caused a lot of difficulties for people in the northern or northeastern provinces of the country. They said that the temperatures in Nong Khai province had dropped below 15 degrees Celsius for 3 consecutive days, driving the total of provinces under the disaster zoned order to 33, as I said. And now local authorities are disbursing emergency funds to assist those people affected by the cold snap. The meteorological department said a high-pressure cell from China will prevail over Thailand until December the 29th, lowering temperature in the northern regions down to around 16 degrees Celsius. They said in mountainous areas, the temperature will plunge to below 8 degrees Celsius, with the frost spotted on many peaks. And with the record yesterday in Chiang Mai province at the In Phang district, the lowest temperature that has been recorded that was 3.8 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
It was really cold, and the department also predicted that a strong pressure front will weaken after December the 30th, bringing the temperature up slightly in many parts of the country. And with the wintry conditions that still dominating most parts of Thailand, the Ministry of Public Health has cautioned the public to be aware of winter diseases, especially pneumonia, which has affected over 100,000 people this year. The Permanent Secretary for Public Health, Dr. Narong Saha Methapat, cited a latest survey conducted since the beginning of this year as saying that more than 170,000 people have been diagnosed with pneumonia. Most of the patients are children under the age of 5 and the elderly above the age of 55. Therefore, he suggested people experiencing cold symptoms to have plenty of rest and take medicines. And if the condition does not improve after 3 days with persisting fever, cough, and chest pain, the medical attention should be sought immediately due to a high risk of pneumonia. The authorities also encourage parents to pay close attention to their small children if they have a cold and look for signs of pneumonia such as high fever, coughing, and shortness of breath as well, because a lot of people had already been reportedly killed during the winter season already.
Right.
But a lot of cases happen when they recklessly drive or just stay outside.
Okay, so that's one of the problems too. A lot of people, because we don't really facing this low temperature in Thailand, is quite rare. We have to admit it. So a lot of people don't realize that if you stay outside for too long, that could happen to you, especially the seniors and children. So be very careful, because there has been a lot of report about pneumonia as well, and death that caused by it. All right, with that, we're going to take a short break, because when we come back, we have a lot more updates, especially in terms of the digital TV that will be auctioned today and tomorrow, as well as a little bit of the updates on the demonstrations as well. So please stay tuned.